Hey guys, it's Liddy here, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make your own custom stickers out of printable vinyl. And I'm going to be using my awesome Silhouette Cameo 4. So let's get started. Alright guys, welcome back. So as you know, I just did a review on my Silhouette Cameo 4, and I'm loving that machine. 10 out of 10 recommend it to anybody wanting to start a sticker business or just start making your own custom stickers for yourself or any other kind of crafting like scrapbooking or stuff like that. But back to the stickers, so I'm going to be using printable vinyl. Now most people use sticker paper, but printable vinyl is way more waterproof and more durable, and it turns out really, really nice, and it's actually super cheap. So what you're going to need is just some printable vinyl, obviously, and I got mine from Hobby Lobby. This is, once again, the Paper Studio brand, and it was listed at $9.99, but I believe I got it for $6 because it was 40% off, because you can use a 40% off coupon at Hobby Lobby on mostly anything. And this comes with 10 sheets, and I've actually made a bunch of stickers already, and I haven't even used the 10 sheets up yet. So it actually lasts a very long time, and it's super easy to do. So as you can see, I put my logo on here, and I have actually made a bunch of different sizes. So I have these little tiny ones, I have some medium-sized ones, and most of these are going to go with my orders that I make for my CNC signs, my vinyl signs, or just my sticker orders. So also some of these will be for sale, so if you are interested, go down below to my Instagram and shoot me a DM, and if you are interested in a sticker, I will let you know the price and I will send one off to you. So let's get right into how to do this. Hop right on to the software on Silhouette Studio. Starting off here, we are in Silhouette Studios, and I just created a new document really, and what I'm going to do is, first off, you have to go over here to your page setup, and you're going to want to make sure you have the media size set as letter, which is 8.5 times or by 11 inches. So this is going to be your printer paper size, because you will be printing this off with a printer. So the thing about the printable vinyl is you can use an inkjet printer, which is really awesome, so you don't have to have a laser printer. So that is why we have to set the dimension to 8.5 by 11. And then your cutting mat doesn't really matter, and then obviously you want to specify your machine you're using. Next, you're going to go over here to this tab, which is the registration mark tab, and you want to turn it on. So this is going to be printed with your design once you have it on here, to make sure that your machine can read it and cut in the specific spots where your stickers are. What you're going to want to do next is go to Advanced Options and make sure your dimension is set correctly. So usually mine is actually past the 11, which I've had some problem with. So what you do for that is you just move the bottom, as you can see, your bottom up or down, and mine's actually all the way down to where it can go. So it's all the way down about to 10.25 inch, and after that everything's pretty set where it is. What you're going to want to do to the thickness right here for these registration marks is bring it all the way up, just so that your machine has an easier time actually reading your registration marks, so you don't get very many errors for reading it. And then you can also change the length of these, and I like to keep mine very small. And say you wanted to just cut out a small design right here, all you have to do is change your distance over here, and basically instead of using a whole sheet, you can just use this minimal part of where you want to cut. But right now I'm going to keep mine as big as possible just to show you guys. And what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go to my desktop here, and I'm going to drag in my logo. So all I do is have the screenshot here, drag it in, and there's the logo. So next what you want to do is go to your trace tool and select trace area and select it, and then what I do is I do trace and detach. So click that, and then I can delete the white background and select all of these and connect or group them all together so that when I move it around, it actually moves. And next what I want to do is I want to have a circle cutout around this. So I'm going to go to circle, just draw a circle here, and well, obviously this is oval, but we're going to look at the dimensions of our design right here, and I'm just going to guesstimate about an inch around it, so it will be 3.781 on this side. And what you can do is you can go up here and change it over here. I believe that was right. and then I'm going to click here again and then read this bottom part, so it will be 3.71. And once you have that, now it is dimensioned to how you want it. But what you can do now is basically change the shape a little bit to your liking in case it didn't look exactly how you wanted it to. And you just have to play around with this depending on your design. And say I think that's going to be okay, I'm going to connect both of them, or select both of them, go up here and press this button here, and then the one below it, and that will align it in the middle. So say I like that, but it's a little bit too, there's a little bit too much on the outside. All I have to do now is scale it down because I think it looks good, and do the same exact thing with alignment. You're just going to use the alignment tool. It makes it super easy. And then what I like to do is click on the circle we have made, go up here to the top left, and then put a white background on it, double click it, and then put it to the back. So now this is exactly what my sticker will look like. So now I'm going to connect them together or group them, and now you have your sticker. So you can seal it down from here. You can bring in any design you want and any shape. It's super easy. And say I just wanted to put a bunch of these on here. It's just super simple. I can actually show you guys here. This is how I have mine set up. And sometimes I have a test down here. You want to make sure that your machine will cut all the way through your paper, so make sure you have a little test piece to make sure it will cut through. So once we have this, all you're going to do is go up to File, go to Print, and make sure your printable vinyl is in there. For most printers, if it pulls it from the bottom, you want to make sure your printable vinyl is upside down so that when it gets pulled through, it will print on the correct side. So here we go, and then all you got to do is press print. And I like to do black and white and best quality, and then you just send it to print. And now we will go get that off the printer. Alright guys, so I have printed my sheet out, and it looks just like this. Now I did leave it to dry for about 5 to 10 minutes. You just want to make sure that your ink will not be smudged. And now some people just leave it as this, send it to their cutting machine and cut it out. But to make it super durable and extra waterproof so that the ink doesn't wash off or scratch off, we're going to add some contact paper. Now you can get contact paper really anywhere. You can get it at Walmart, Hobby Lobby. I got mine actually from my school, but you can get the same exact stuff at Hobby Lobby for probably like $10, and then obviously you get the 40% off coupon, so that's around $6 for a huge roll, and I'll show you guys that in a second. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut a piece to fit our printable vinyl and then lay it over, and then we can set it to our machine. So let's switch the camera around and I'll show you guys how I do that. Alright, so this is my contact paper. This is the brand Rubbermaid. Again, I got it at my school, but you can get it at Hobby Lobby. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take off my tape here, and now I'm going to measure out the size I'm going to need for my sticker paper. As you can kind of see, I've already been making these, so I do have kind of the size here, and this is about what I'm going to work with. What we're going to end up doing is cutting a piece, and before we actually lay it down on here, we have to mark out where the registration marks are because it can mess up your machine. So we're just going to cut a sheet. You should probably cut it a little smaller than the actual paper, but obviously I don't want to waste any other stuff, so I'm just going to cut this out, and then we can cut the registration parts out. Alright, so once we have our contact paper cut out, what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay it down the way it would stick, and just take a Sharpie and basically measure out where we're going to have to cut out the spots for the registration mark. So I just basically draw a line here, and once again down here at the bottom, and now we can just cut those spots out and we should be good to go. It doesn't really have to be pretty because you're not going to see this part. The only part you're going to see is on the sticker. And the reason why I'm using contact paper and not transfer paper is because the transfer paper I have has lines on it, and this is completely clear, and it's actually super cheap. You can also, I know you can also spray it with a clear spray paint and seal it, but I think this is the best way to go. So what you're going to want to do is you want to peel up your contact paper. Now, I have sometimes had a hard time doing this and sometimes not. It just gets a little tricky. So with my contact paper, I've tried to slowly peel it one way and pull it down over the stickers, but unfortunately it doesn't work for me, so I have to risk it and lay it down like this. So all you're going to want to do is layer down and make sure you don't get very many bubbles. And as you can kind of see over here, I got a little close, but other than that, that's fine. And all I'm going to do is use my scraper and push this here. Sometimes I misalign it and then it wrinkles, which kind of sucks, but things happen, and sometimes you might lose 1 or 2 stickers, but at least you have a whole sheet. And as you can kind of see down here, I got it over the mark, so I'm going to actually have to peel this up a little bit and then just cut it. So if that happens, no big deal. All you have to do is just trim it a little bit. And for example, if your square gets a little messed up or some of the ink comes off, you can use a Sharpie to fix it. I've done that before and it works just fine. So make sure everything is squeegeed down. You have no air bubbles. I have one here, but luckily it's not on one of the stickers. Just pop it and get rid of it. Make sure everything is flat. And now we can trim up the edges a little bit and then put it on our cutting mat. So when you're putting it on your cutting mat, obviously make sure it is the correct way. And you want to best align it with the sides. If you don't, you will run an error on your registration when it starts to get in your registration marks. So you might have to realign it a couple times and run your registration a couple times. Sometimes it goes right away, but usually you have to do it a couple times. And sometimes I don't move it, I just rerun it, and it will work eventually. It just takes a little bit. So make sure everything is pushed down, and now we can put it on the machine. Alright, so putting it on the machine, super simple, and all we gotta do is press it in, make sure it's lined up, and now we will go right back to the software. Alright, so once we are in our software, what you're going to want to do is go over here to the send button and make sure your machine's on and connected, and make sure it is just going to be cutting out the outside perimeter of your sticker where you want it to. Sometimes mine decides to cut out the actual design, so make sure you have it set. And my settings is blade 5, force 33, speed 5, and 2 passes. Now, I've done a lot of testing with this, and it just takes a lot of force to get through both the contact paper and all the way through the printable vinyl. Now, I cut mine out completely. I don't leave a little peelable border because I can always do that on the back, and because it is a circle, it makes it a lot easier. So, all you gotta do is press send, and it'll scan it, and make sure none of your corners come up. Sometimes that gets a little freaky, and it registered, and if it runs an error, see, mine ran a register error, as you can see. So what I'm going to do is just click off of it and unpause it and then bring it out. And then just bring it back in. So sometimes you have to do that again, it just gets a little tricky. Sometimes if your corners peel up, you might want to tape them down, as you can see I just did. And as you can see, it failed one more time. And I'm just going to keep trying to get it to send. Sometimes it takes 3 times, sometimes it takes 5. But it should start cutting now. So now it's measuring out the blade, and now it will send the cut. Alright, so as you can see, it cut out successfully. Now you can do 1 pass for going around, but I just like to do 2 just to make sure everything is cut out properly. So now all you gotta do is peel it up, and once they stick, that's when you know your setting is correct. So there we go. As I mentioned, again, if you're having problems with it reading your registration marks because it's peeling up, as you can probably see on mine, I put tape. So make sure everything is flat and sticking, and then you'll have a success. So what I'm going to do is just peel all these off. As you can see, I have a bunch of different sizes. And once again, when you're done with cutting on your mat, make sure you put your plastic sheet back on so that nothing ruins your mat. So there we go. We have all of our stickers. We just made some of these different sized ones and some little ones. As you guys saw, I left and accidentally got some Sharpie on there. I might be able to actually clean it off with some rubbing alcohol. But if you can kind of see on here, I kind of messed up the circle. It's not perfectly on there, but it doesn't really matter to me. Most of these are just going to go on packaging orders or just on the back of some signs that I make. So it's not a huge deal to me, but the ones I sell, like these bigger ones, they aren't too bad. You can't really tell, but these turn out really great, and now they're ready to be applied to something. Alright, so applying it to something is super easy. I'm just going to use one of these smaller ones. Now you can go and individually cut these, the backs, slit the backs, but it's really not that hard to peel them up. And if you have, say, a weeding tool, all we got to do is peel it up. And as you can see, the back is shiny. It's not paper, it is the vinyl, remember. So if you buy printable sticker paper, it's way different than this because this is, again, printable vinyl, and it is the plasticky vinyl, which makes it last a lot longer. So definitely, again, go for the printable vinyl and not the sticker paper. Now with the sticker paper, you can get clear, but with the vinyl, printable vinyl, you only can get white, I believe. At least that's what I've seen. So now I'm just going to apply it like you normally would anywhere, just like a normal sticker, and there you go. You don't have to do anything after that. Your sticker's good and ready to be shown off. Alright guys, so that is it. I really hope you enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun showing you guys how to make these simple stickers. Again, I got this stuff at Hobby Lobby. You can order it online. I did actually order some other sticker paper on Amazon. I will leave a link to that down below. Most of it's the same. Some of it lasts a lot longer, but when you do put this contact paper over it, it lasts way longer. It is way more durable and more waterproof. So I definitely recommend putting the contact paper on it. Again, like I mentioned earlier, some people put spray on it, like clear spray paint, but I definitely like the contact paper way better because that ensures that it will be waterproof. Again, the vinyl is already semi-waterproof because the back, but to keep your ink safe on it, definitely use a contact paper. If you guys have any questions, please let me know down below in the comments. As you know, I love to answer all your questions and just chat with you guys down there. So again, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.